Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating explainer based on a case study called The Wealth System, From Earning to Investing. Now, I want you to think for a second. Have you ever felt that deeply frustrating sensation where you're working so hard, making pretty decent money, but then the end of the month rolls around and you've got literally nothing to show for it? It's like you're sprinting on a treadmill just to stay in the exact same spot. Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to unpack how one person actually managed to break out of that endless cycle.
Look at this quote from the study. Money came in, but disappeared just as fast. Man, there is such a raw, uncomfortable honesty there, right? That is the exact emotional tension we're tackling today. Because, you can have all these brilliant ideas, you could even have cash flowing in, but if it just vanishes the second it hits your bank account, you're essentially trapped. You're stuck in the earning cycle, and honestly, it's exhausting.
So that brings us to a pretty uncomfortable question. I want you to ask yourself, is your income really the problem? Automatically, we all want to say, yes, absolutely. We tell ourselves, if I just get that promotion, or if I just hustle and make an extra grand a month, boom, problem solved. But actually, scratch that. Is it really the silver bullet? As we'll see, a bigger paycheck doesn't automatically fix things.
Which leads us right into Section 1, the illusion of income.
Let's compare these two ideas. On one hand, you have ideas and income, and on the other, direction and a plan. Having income without direction is basically just a mirage. Earning money without a concrete plan, it's literally like trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom. Sure, you can pour the water in faster, by working more hours or getting a raise, but you're never, ever going to fill it up.
And that realization brings us to Section 2, the pivot to planning. The big turning point for our guy in the case study was realizing his income wasn't actually the villain. His lack of a plan was. So what did he do? He went back to the absolute basics. Step 1, track every single dollar. Step 2, cut the unnecessary expenses. Step 3, save whatever you can. I know, it sounds super unglamorous, but he wasn't waiting for some magic lottery ticket. He just started playing solid financial defense. He finally started telling his money exactly where to go.
Now, check out this feeling. It felt slow, almost pointless at first. Let that sink in for a second. We've all been there, haven't we? You skip buying that coffee, you diligently track your spending, and a month later you check your balance and you've saved, what, 50 bucks? It feels almost laughable. It's a huge psychological hurdle. But the absolute key here, he didn't quit. Even when it felt completely useless, he just kept going.
That kind of stubborn endurance kicks off Section 3. The invisible grind.
Just look at how this timeline plays out. Day 1, you start small. Months later, you're still at it. Years later, the results might still feel invisible. Honestly, this long, quiet waiting period is exactly where 99% of people just throw in the towel. We want results yesterday, right? But he pushed right through that agonizing invisible grind until, finally, the results actually started to show.
But here's the thing. He wasn't just sitting around twiddling his thumbs during that wait. He learned new skills to boost his earning power. And this is the brilliant part. As his income went up, he kept his expenses totally flat and invested all the difference. He took that gritty budgeting discipline he built during the slow phase and used it to play offense. More money was coming in, but his defensive walls stayed right where they were.
This comparison right here is everything. Normally, what happens when we make more money? We spend more money. It's the classic lifestyle creep. You get a raise, you lease a nicer car. But for him, spending more was replaced by investing more. By holding his expenses steady while his paychecks grew, he created this massive gap. And directing all those extra dollars into investments instead of just, nicer stuff, that's the exact moment you stop surviving and start building real wealth.
Which perfectly sets the stage for our final piece, Section 4, Building the Wealth System.
Okay, here's the grand reveal. All that invisible, agonizing grinding suddenly paid off in a huge way. First off, his money actually started working for him. He wasn't just trading his hours for a paycheck anymore. His investments were generating their own momentum. Because of that, new opportunities popped up, stuff you can only jump on when you have a bit of capital behind you. And the absolute best part, the stress disappeared. That heavy, everyday financial anxiety just vanished.
I absolutely love this takeaway. Quote, he didn't just earn money, he built a system that made him rich. This is the whole thesis of the explainer in one sentence. A high income, that requires your constant, exhausting effort. The minute you stop working, the money stops. But a system, a well-oiled machine of tracking, cutting, saving, and investing, that works quietly in the background while you sleep. It completely replaces the endless rat race.
So I'm going to leave you with a final thought today, and it's something I really want you to chew on. Are you just earning money, or are you actively building a system? Take a hard, honest look at your financial direction right now. Because the difference between those two things isn't just a bigger number in your bank account. It's the difference between being trapped and actually being free. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks you to start building your own system today.